The groundhogs did say it was going to be an early spring, right? Right? Because we look very springy for it still being winter. So hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is my Dommy Tries This coffee mug from my shop. You can get it and a whole bunch of other things in the link down below. Yes, it'll be linked down below. And any of the extra proceeds come here to the channel to help us out over here. But you don't have to buy one. You don't. I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to buy anything. We love to see you here anyway. In our Dommy Tries This coffee mug, we have the Chymey, this one. Spiced Hibiscus herbal tea. As I recall, I really liked this when I tried it the first time. I was going to try the Stash Supermint. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Let's go ahead and give this a sip and we can go ahead and get started. Now this has just started to steep, just barely. But you can already taste it. It'll taste a little bit like I over-sugared it. Hopefully by the end of it, we'll have enough of the tea flavor come in and take down the sugar level. All right, so I had to do another get ready with me, but I wanted to do something just a little bit different. Y'all are used to me, trying new products and getting ready for a reading ready. This is what this will be, is a reading ready. And you're all used to me trying the new products and not really talking much about much else except for how the products are going on. And I realized it's been a while since we've had kind of an update on the channel and our lives and what's been going on. So that's what we're going to do. And if you're interested in some of those things, some of which touch on the channel itself, and then go ahead and just keep on watching. We're going to start with my ancestry journey. One of the last videos I did that I ended up having to take down, I noted I was very excited for. I was going to be working with a particular genealogy group. And I was very excited about it. And I did actually get started with that. Someone saw the video and reported it to the head of the organization. I am not going to say the organization's name, but the head of the organization said, we saw this video and it's slanderous and you need to bring it down. And I said, it's not slander. I was just expressing my experiences with the group and my opinion. But then she threatened me with lawyers and I went, okay, you know what? I don't have lawyers. I can't fight this. So, okay, I'll bring it down and then we can discuss more later. Like she wanted to discuss more the next day. I knew it was coming, but they pretty much said that they pretty much let me go. They said I didn't have respect for what they did. Wrong. And that my services would no longer be needed. I did manage to learn a few things, most of which from my journey I don't use. But yeah, so that ended very badly. But they were wrong. It was not slanderous. I expressed what I had been told and my experiences with the group, and I expressed how excited I was to be a part of the group, and whatever part they thought was slander was not slander. But obviously as a result of that, I am no longer working with that group, and I've also not been asked to work with any other groups, which is just fine, honestly. I was excited to work with them because they had helped me out so much. None of the people that I supposedly made friends with when I joined the group is talking to me. So I'm out of that group entirely, and I have no plans to join any other group because, in all honesty, just my time when I was with them showed me what a time suck that would be. I'm willing to help people on their trees individually through Ancestry as best I can, particularly since I have a lot of documents that a lot of them could use. But beyond that, I'm just doing my own thing, and I'm not working with them anymore. As for my tree, I'm actually very diligently still working on that. I'm currently mostly double checking documents, double checking my people. One of the things with my tree is that I actually had a lot of fingers in the pie when my tree got started. I had the group that I was just talking about. I had a couple of other people help me out. And there's actually quite a few errors, all things told, from everybody and myself, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I took hints. Don't take hints straight off of Ancestry, because everybody's using the hints and not everybody's reading the hints. And so, yeah, it's a mess. So I got the new Moda, part of the new Marilyn Monroe stuff. I got a couple of them. This is from their eye set. And we're going to grab into the Nomad Paradise Island palette. This is one of the palettes that's going to go on sale, and once it's sold out, it's sold out. I believe this is one that they're planning on not restocking, which is kind of sad. It's a beautiful palette. Gorgeous. Anyway, so I'm going to use this peach sky over here, and I'm going to blend it with this more frosty pink Bora Bora. But anyway, so I've been, yes, I'm still very diligently working on my tree. Now that I know some stuff, I had met this woman, and she had been helping me a bit with building my tree, and she did a lot of stuff to help, quote unquote, train me on the correct way to look for things. And she helped me learn how to go through what we call unindexed files. These are files that nobody's done anything on to make them part of the regular family search records. I mean, they're in there, but they aren't translated in any way. So I've had to learn how to do the translation. But now it's a little easier because I know exactly where to look for certain things. You know, what spots, where the parents' names would be, for example, or the grandparents' names would be for something. So I know how to do those things now. And it's all because of her helping me learn. And she would tell me what certain words meant, so I could go ahead and, document those things. And it's still not easy, because you're talking about translating a language that is not your first language into something that you can understand. And then also you have to, most of these records are very old and very hard to read. They have either a lot of bleed through, or they're very faded, or whatever. But I have been getting through that, and I've been doing that fairly well. As a result, my tree has indeed been growing. And I think I'm over 7,000 people on the tree, and at least 75% of it is my Puerto Rican side. So yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still having a lot of fun with that. But I don't bring it up much because most of the stuff I've learned, I've already talked about on here. And I will say that the whole thing with that particular group did sort of dampen how I felt about talking about it on here. It's become the thing that I like to do in my off hours, so to speak. Go with this. I'm using my old hashtag Violet Boss Pro, the one that I recommend, and so I'm going to try to use more of, and I'm going to use this color Lady Boss. So that's what's going on with that, and I'm still doing a lot of reading. My reading is actually a bit more intermittent than I like, but I've been doing a lot of reading on my old Taino culture. I've been working on altar of sorts for my father. I'm getting into the Stargazer now, and the new one, and I'm going to use this color Southern Cross. I've been still doing a lot of reading, and then this past month, I held a celebration for my father to celebrate his birthday. My father is deceased, and he died before I had a chance to find or meet him. Thank you, Mom. And anyway, so I held a birthday celebration. I made a cupcake in the flavors of a dessert that my half-sister, his other daughter, said that he enjoys the flavors of. And then I didn't have my sage to smudge, unfortunately. I had ordered it. It went elsewhere. But I had found some Tano music, and I had found some modern music that all represent the things that I wanted to express to him. So I did hold that, and that was really kind of neat. And I did some dancing and some singing. And I broke the cupcake to break bread with him, and I put some in a special bowl I have for my ancestors and their food. And then a couple days later, I took that food and I put it in the soil that I'm going to use next year for my garden. I had to sort of wing it because I didn't have a lot of information on it. It's unfortunate that while the Taino have not been completely erased from the face of the earth, a lot of their rituals are, I can't find them in books. Now, apparently there are rituals being held by others in the community, but they're not necessarily sharing how to do that. So I had to wing it and figure it out on my own. And a lot of people said that, well, it came from the heart, so you did fine. It sounds beautiful. I even had an outfit that I found on Amazon that sort of was reflective of the kind of clothing. I've been thinking about putting some of the Taino symbols on it, but I don't, it's a really slick, stretchy fabric, so I don't know if any kind of paint would stick. All right, so one of the new things we're gonna try is the Moira Glitter Primer. So this primer is kind of pale orange. And I'm gonna put this across the middle of my eye. Across here. I am going to use, from my Taina Queen Makeup, that palette that I got for Bayomon, I'm going to use this pink glittery shade. It looks like it's a finer glitter, which is great, because if this glitter primer does not work the way it's supposed to, then hopefully this shit won't fall in my eyes. This is my concern, right? You know? Don't want that shit to fall in my eyes. All right, so I've got some. Going up on top. And I am going a little bit over the edge of where the primer is. I will say this is feeling very sticky, which is what it's supposed to feel like, right? And I'm not seeing any fallout underneath my eye. We'll have to see how well this holds. I think I'm gonna go with this minty green. Let's do this minty green. So the other thing that's been going on is I'm still writing. I've been putting my Assassin's Choice up. It is honestly not getting that many views. I have considered not doing it. We're doing our usual point in case I cover anything up. But anyway, I've considered not doing it because it's not getting any views. But you know what? If it sat on my hard drive, it wouldn't get any views. So I'm going to continue to put that up. And then after that, that's every Sunday night. Nobody's visiting. But I'm going to continue to put that up, and then when that book is done, it's actually the first in a trilogy. The rest of the trilogy isn't written, and the lack of numbers actually doesn't really encourage me to get back to writing it at all. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let that one go. We're going to get back into Stargazer, and I am going to use this matte Tikapo Stargazing here. I could use the Milky Way. I'm going to use the Milky Way. We'll see if we can use it on a regular brush. If we can't, then I just might have to go to the matte. Anyway, so I have a friend that is giving me permission to post, I'm going to get this wet, to post a science fiction she has called Hunter. Her character in Hunter is one of my favorite characters she's written. And she's had this around. She's had it published by a couple of different small presses. She's done self-publishing with it at various points. She pretty much has decided that she's out of the writing game. It's not something she wants to do. She said she would go ahead and let me use that, her Hunter, on the channel. So I have a book to read after, and I think she's in kind of the same space I'm in when it comes to her books. Might as well. Why not? They're just going to sit on my hard drive and do nothing, right? I do have a novel out that I've just started putting out on the submission go round. I'm only going to small presses. I am not trying to hit the big publishers. I am not interested in that whole thing. We're getting some of that glitter in this blue, but it's otherwise holding up really well. I'm going to do the other eye. Writing's going well. I have almost 10,000 words for last month alone, and not quite 9,500 words for last month alone, but we'll get back into that and when I get my other eye finished, because I don't want you to be here forever. It's already going to be long, so be back in a few. I'm going to take a little bit of that Dark Sky Nation and try to define this part of my lid better with this really thin brush. So I'm not sure if I'm going to, actually at this point I know I'm probably not going to finish the trilogy that this book I'm reading now on here is from. It's the first book of. It's not garnering much of any interest, and I have other stuff I can write, so I'm thinking about, I decided what I needed to do to make this all really work out well for me is to get more focused on what I was going to write. Same brush that has the blue on it. And we're going to smudge this out a bit. One of the things I decided just recently, actually, since I've started writing, you can tell I'm ADHD. I bounce all over the place when I talk about things. You know, even in the same topic, I will bounce all over when I talk about things. So I decided I needed to be a bit more focused for the writing. I need something else. I need to blur that out a little bit more somehow. In the process of thinking about all of that, I mean, what I was doing, what I planned to do, all the stuff that's sitting on my plate that I haven't worked on in ages, I finally decided on the things I'm working on. And so hopefully those will help me focus out a bit more. So I'm pretty pleased with that, but I'm going to go ahead and get back into the Tanna Queen and get some more of that green and put it along edge to make it more visible, mostly like that. So I'm finishing up Assassin's Choice for the channel here. And then when that is done, I'm actually starting to work on another one in the same world, but it's going to be different. And it's one that I've had in my head for about 30 years, give or take. And I figure now is the time to get it done. It is still in my head, most of it. I mean, there's probably pieces of it that I'm going to have to reconstruct, reconfigure, whatever. I'm going to have to do something with, but most of it is still in my head. So I figure after 30 years, it's probably time to get to work on that. And when Assassins is done, that will be my primary project. Since we're going to be going through my friend's novel, Hunter, that should give me plenty of time to pull it together, and hopefully I can put that up here. If not, my friend has a second novel in the Hunter series that is done or close to done, and I can work on that and put that up instead. So I'll be working on this other series that's in the same world, but it's different, and it's one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I didn't do it because I wasn't doing it before because I didn't feel that my writing was where it needed to be for it. It was one of those stories that was kind of important to me, and I really just, it was, obviously, I'm still thinking about it. I still have it, 30 years later, ADHD notwithstanding. And so we're going to be working on that, and hopefully that's going to be going up here too, assuming I'm still doing things like that when it's done. That's my plan. That's my plan. So, and then the other books, the other two books. So, like I said, I have one book that's out with publishers right now, or I'm trying to put out with publishers right now. So, one of the books that I'll be working on, it's too much, is for the second book in that particular book series. Also hoping to put it out for eventual publication, assuming I find a home for the first book at all. I'm not worried about it. I'm honestly not overly worried about whether or not these books will find a home. Honestly. They will or they won't. Que sera, sera. No skin off my nose. If it comes right down to it, I can always put them up here like I'm doing for Assassin's Choice. And it's a little different. It's an urban fantasy. I went ahead and tried to, this is Golden Medium of the Laura Geller. The other one I have is just medium. This is supposed to have an olive undertone, which is supposed to be my undertone. And here is the Marilyn Monroe new motor brush. So that's the second book. And then the final book that I will be working on, that actually matches my shoulders. The other book I'll be working on is in the same world as the book that I'm putting out, and that second one that I'll be working on in that series. But it is on the California coast. So the first book, the book that's out for publication right now, and the second book that I'm working on with that are both based here in Atlanta. And this other book will be based in the San Bernardino area in California. I lived out there for years. I've lived in California since I was 13 years old. I think I lived down in that area, I don't know, at least a decade. So I was going to go ahead and finish everything out for the eyes, the eyelining, all that, and I realized we haven't tried something else I picked up that's new. I moved you back already, so we're just going to let you stay there and go from there. And where did I put it? So we're going to check out, I picked up some of that Moira, the new loose setting powder in their new yellow banana color. I think this one is new. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and we'll continue our talk, which I'm now moving on to health. We were going to talk about some personal things. So last year for me was really rough in the health department, in the sense that I had something going on that for a woman, a postmenopausal woman, should not be going on. And so I got on the ACA, because we were broke bitches around here, and got health insurance to try to figure all that out. And seriously took most of the year to get anything done, really. I mean, they got me in. I saw my regular doctor, that we got me back on my blood pressure medications. Everything else on my health looked pretty good. He wasn't too worried about anything else. So he got me back on my blood pressure medications, and then I started doing all the things that I would need to do to try to figure out what was going on. Otherwise, got all the testing done, all of that stuff. Well, the procedure, there is a procedure that I should have had that they ended up never going through with. And part of that's because I have a very strange heartbeat. It freaks doctors out every fucking time. Basically, and I have had it tested, which is part of the issue of what happened last year. I've had it tested, and basically, one side of my heart basically chose to, can I say basically anymore? Basically chose to reroute the electrical system on that side. So I have this funky little skip. And doctors hear it and they go, "Did you ever get this checked?" Yes, I just got it checked. And when I got it checked, I did the whole 9 yards. They did everything. They did the ultrasounds and the MRIs, and I had to walk on a treadmill and the whole 9 yards. They did everything. And they told me not to exercise while I was doing it. And then when they went through it, they said, "Okay, so we just think your heart just kind of decided it wasn't going to go that way." It decided to do its own thing. Fine. My body does that a lot to me, and I do that a lot to me, so I wasn't worried about it. They weren't worried about it. They said, just go ahead and go back to exercising. You're fine. Everything's fine. This heart thing got picked up, obviously, by the hospital, the local hospital, Grady, which is where I was going. I explained to them what it was. I told them that I was told it's not a big deal, and not to worry about it. And they said, well, we don't have any baseline or any results. I mean, I asked for all my records, right? They said, we don't have anything that shows that it's fine. We are hesitant to do this procedure without it being checked. So in November, which is when I was supposed to have this procedure done, they canceled the procedure and they did this heart thing. And, a week, a little less than a week after they did that, they said, "Oh, yeah, you're fine." But by that time, it's too late to reschedule. The doctor had a hard enough time scheduling the procedure to begin with. And so I just didn't even call back in on it. I didn't even try to get that rescheduled. And the thing is this. Even then, I was a little hesitant because they were saying, no, this is not life-threatening. Our screening shows there's no cancer. There's nothing like that. So, but by the time we were getting to the procedure last year, we had used enough of my insurance. Most of my out-of-pocket expenses, essentially, were taken care of already. So we're starting a new year now, And we never did the procedure because of all this bullshit and the fact that this place did not send my records. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if this is any good and if it dries up my freaking eyes. That is always the test. Will it dry up my eyes when it's trying to set this down? Anyway, it's drying things. It's setting it down. I think, yeah, it does kind of hit the, I'm looking at it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of, it's not horrible. This is still usable. I don't think anyone would really notice it except me and you guys now that I'm mentioning it, but it is sort of, particularly in this area right here, it is sort of emphasizing some of those lines. Like I said, though, it's not a horrible show, but it did dry things down. It did set it down nicely, actually. Yeah, you are getting more of my crinkles, quote unquote. Crinkles, wrinkles, whatever you want to call them. My daughter laughs at me for calling them crinkles. I don't see them as full on wrinkles yet. I'm allowed to, you know, decide it's not full on wrinkles yet. Not mad at this. And we'll use it my other powder, and this will be next on my list. It's not horrible. It works. All right, I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes, get my mascara on and all that, and then we'll come back because there's still more things to show you. We are going to be trying the Laura Geller Baked Bronze and Brighten Bake to Go Contour in Deep. This is very strange. That's how it's applied. We will be trying a Moira Blushing Goddess Duo. I am probably going to use this color. And we're going to use a Moira highlighter that I've had that I think I tried once, and we're going to try it again. We're just going to try it again. Try it again. Anyway, back to the health of it all. Is this... Oh my. I'm not sure I like applying it like this. I mean, I get it in the right spots, I guess. Is this how you would apply it if it was a liquid, I suppose? That's just odd to me. It's also a little more red than I would like. Okay, we're just going to pat that on in there. That's just strange. We're going to go with that's just strange. All right, let's, anyway. So, the one place never did send the Grady, the hospital, my records. I'm just going to dab in. Oh, let's just grab off of there. Never did send in my records. They ended up doing all the things, and they said it was okay, but it was so late that I just went, you know what? We are never going to get this scheduled in time. I already knew by that point that okay, we've got a problem, Houston. I already knew that my insurance would be changing. Just a little odd. Puff that out. I'm using my foundation to try to get rid of some of that weirdness. Yeah, we're not going to use that thing anymore. I don't know. Hopefully that's enough. Anyway, so when I went in for the new doctors appointments, we were talking about, you know, you have to do all the things tell them all the things that's going on. And I did tell them about this. This was my regular doctor, and the doctor I was seeing before. God damn. Was, Laura Geller, this has definitely got pigment, but the way you want me to apply it is just a little too weird. It's strange. Tone it down. Okay, that's not horrible. It works, generally speaking. But anyway, so you have to do all that stuff. And she wanted me to go ahead and she's set up a what they call a, this was Kaiser, and they call it a appointment ticket. She wants me to go ahead and talk to an OB/GYN about whether or not we're going to do this procedure anyway. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to call in on that and do that appointment for a number of reasons. One, I just got done with all that shit. I mean, I know I'm 60 and I'm supposed to be having all of that shit done a little more frequently, but too frequently for me. I'm sorry. It's just too frequently for me. And on top of that, we would now be looking at a far bigger chunk of, I'm still pulling stuff off of this thing. That's just scary. Anyway, I would be looking at a far bigger chunk of, you know, the out-of-pocket pay for that. I would be looking at, because we have to take care of, you know, all my copays. We have to take care of all of that stuff that had started to be taken care of. That was pretty close to, I was pretty close to the, what is it? That part that the patient has to pay before they start covering more. I can't remember what they call it now. It doesn't even matter. But the end result is that for me alone, it's like almost $6,000 for me and my husband together. It's like $12,000 or $11,000, $13,000. I don't know. It's high, and I do like the color. It doesn't look nearly as bad. Looks a little overdone on my nose, I think, just a touch. This is really pigmented. Be careful with this, folks. Yeah. It's a mented level of pigmentation. I'm not going to use that thing anymore. I'm going to probably try to figure out how to get it out of there, because damn. But anyway, so we're not going to do that because I don't need I have to be responsible for even more of the bill. And like I said, this has been labeled as not threatening, not life-threatening. And I don't see the point in changing something that is not life-threatening for just a huge medical bill. So I'm of the mind to just skip it. The doctor's like, well, you probably should go ahead and do this and see this doctor anyway. And I'm like, yeah, but that's another $60 out of pocket. It's something we Americans have to think about, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. So that's what's going on with that. I'm actually feeling okay. I'm trying to get back to my yoga again. I do have, if you all remember last year, I did have a fall on our stairs, and there was a big hubbub about my leg, and that got all the attention. Well, I've been having trouble with the shoulder that's continued up to now. The leg is looking good. I'm on it just fine. And the doctor did give me some rehab exercises for that. So I now have my yoga and the rehab, and I'm going to try to start bringing things in. But I don't feel comfortable lifting weights at this point with this arm giving me issues in here. I think basically when I slipped and I caught myself on the handrail, somehow this arm caught most of my weight, and that's why we're having issues up here. I can't say for sure that's what happened. I just know how my arm feels, right? Anyway, so she gave me rehab rehab exercises for that, and so I've added those. I've been doing my yoga pretty well for the most part. That's a nice color. Pigmentation's a bit light, but I don't mind that because I've had too many things recently that have been really overly pigmented, and I've been looking like a clown. I don't like looking like a clown. Thank you. And you know what? My husband is finally, he's on our ACA insurance right now. Interestingly enough, they haven't put him back on his cholesterol meds. They're doing other things with him right now. So I thought that that was kind of interesting. But yeah, he's finally seeing a doctor again. Everybody is doing much better in health overall. I'm having some allergy issues right now. We are having to do some catch up on paychecks because there's been, January was a lull in all of the work over at the company my husband works for. Okay, this does not build up at all. And that affected the paycheck. He hasn't been working at the catering part of the business for over a month now, and he's not going to work for it for another couple of weeks because he's actually transferring restaurants. He's very excited about that. It's there. It needs a little help, I think. I'm going to throw in some of my MBA Coral Glow just on top, hopefully. Just a little bit. Anyway, so he's changing restaurants, and he's very excited about it. He's still in the same company. Yeah, we're starting to get a bit more of a glow there. He's very excited about it. He's still in the same company, and but the new one is going to be Mediterranean food, which he's never worked with. He's worked with, you know, our version of Mexican food. He's worked with health food, believe it or not. He's worked at a coffee shop. He's done high-end seafood. He's done a few others, and yeah, he's just really excited about being able to work with this new cuisine. And it sounds like the restaurant is going to be very, I like that. Sounds like the restaurant is going to be really, really nice. And he's very excited about that. And, but along that vein, we're still on hold with our food videos. We are going to get back to them. He just needs to settle into the new restaurant, and some of the issues that we were having are clearing up, but we need those to finish clearing up before we feel comfortable having you guys in our house for watching us make food. So that is pretty much, we're still going to do the food. We're still going to be doing the get ready with me's, still going to be doing the readings. The food will be coming later. You saw that my son did his geek thing. I'm waiting for the finances to settle down a little bit so that I can go ahead and find him a t-shirt, something that maybe we can do with that box, or we can do monthly, or I'll have to look at it. That's pretty much, we're pretty much doing most of the things that we're going to be doing from here on out. I'm hoping to come up with other stuff eventually. You guys will probably start seeing a little less new makeup because there's been changes to the ways Afterpay works. And one of the things that was really good about Afterpay was I was able to go, oh, that's limited edition. I can grab that now. Don't have to make a down payment. And I can have it for you guys to see me test it out. Well, unfortunately, Afterpay has rolled back, removed, whatever you want to call it, the no down payment portion of their rewards, and I'm really upset about it, but by the same token, it's going to save me a little money. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish everything up. I don't think I have a lipstick to try for you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and finish everything up. Alrighty, so we already have the glasses off because I want to show you this before it all melts away. The inner corners are just dying on me. Fortunately, one of the things about Violet, well, let's go ahead and show you the look before we get into all that, because it might completely be gone before then. So here's our look. One of the things about Violet Voss that I did like when I first got them is that while they may not withstand my eyes, most companies do not have shadows that withstand the inner corners of my eyes, and that whole melting off thing that I have no idea where it came from and why I have it. it is easy to repair. Same for the Nomad, same for the Muse, although the Nomad and the Muse Cosmic brushes, although the Nomad and the Cosmic brushes ones usually tend to last a lot longer than even Violet Voss. But Violet Voss has that ability to be repaired quickly. Just a reminder, a couple of reminders for Nomad. This is their brand new palette, and I'm enjoying it. At the same time, it has some of the same frustrations for me that most duos and multi-chromes have, that's all. But it's a gorgeous palette, and the mattes are amazing. The mattes are amazing. The Paradise Island palette, I do believe, you know what, I can check that for you guys. Hold, please. All right, so the Nomad updates that I know of. Verona is supposed to be going on sale the 14th and will be 24% off if you're interested in that. Tokyo and the Iceland palettes will both are going on retirement. That means that they're going to take them out of stock deliberately. So their final sales will be starting soon. If you're interested in either of those, I would grab them now while you can. The final sale for those two, for them to be taken out of, basically be retired and taken out of production, will begin the end of February. So if you want them, you need to get them. They are running low on stock on Ghost Town, but that is going to be restocked. Hudson Valley and Paradise Island also are running low on stock. They have something like 3 to 6 months left. That's what they call low on stock. And they will not be restocked once they are out. So this is the Hudson Valley. This is a beautiful palette. I love these palettes. They're gorgeous. This is one of the few neutral-ish palettes that I really enjoy. And that's because even though the colors are more muted and lean towards the more neutral end of those colors, like the greens are more a greeny brown and that kind of thing. This is a beautiful palette, and I love some of the colors in here. They're absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, there's Paradise Island, which I have showed you before, that they will also not be restocking once it's gone. So if you're interested in any of these 4 palettes, you're going to want to pick those up now. Or as soon as they're on sale. All right, so that is your Nomad update, pretty much. All right, so let's talk about the new stuff that we used. I hope I have everything here. So the glitter primer, I'm very impressed with. I have to say, that stuff is still sticking on there. I think I caught a few flakes under my eyes at one point. We'll take a look now when everything's falling apart. Actually, no, there's nothing. I am not seeing any of... Well, I see one on my nose. I don't know how it got on my nose. But it is definitely holding that stuff up there. And the thing is, it's also right on the edge of where I start losing all the stuff on the inner corners. And it is all still there. So I'm very happy with that. I might end up using glitter primer on the inner corners of my eyes just for my shimmers, because if it's going to hold up, it's going to hold up, and I would really rather have something that holds things up. So I can't remember the prices. I will list these and have the prices down below, but I'm really impressed with this and would probably purchase it again. This, I'm still mad at them that it's such a good foundation. I don't think this will do much for me in summer. I'm going to have to probably pick up another one for summer that's a bit more golden and maybe blend it with this. And I can wait till summer to do that. So we are still in the shades of winter. So the golden medium can be put away, and I can just use the medium one for now. But like I said, I'm not mad at these at all. It's I'm mad at them that it's so good, but I'm not mad at these at all. I am a little perplexed by this whole thing. Why? Why? This is a very awkward. Nobody puts their bronzer in big blotchy circles on their face. And when I did it, we saw why we don't put bronzer in big blotchy circles on our face. So this whole thing is a puzzlement to me. It is highly pigmented. Yay, I was able to get rid of it. So all in all, I think in the future, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of this, and we're just going to go ahead and try to dip our brush in here. But I would really much rather it be in something like this. Their blush is in this. So why their blush is in, I have a blush. So their blush is in the same kind of format as this. Now I can see the concern that if they put the bronzer in something similar to this, you might mix it up with your foundation, but I don't think this was the answer for that. The packaging on this is just, this is irritating. And on top of that, I feel like, well, this one says 0.16 ounces. This one says 0.05 ounces. So that's another thing. These two are about the same price, I think, as I recall. I could be wrong, but that's not flashy with the bright light. I won't be repurchasing this. It seems like a really nice bronzer. It has a good color, but so does Mented, so does ColourPop, so does a number of others that I use that are not nearly as expensive and don't have funky packaging like this. That to me is kind of a waste of product and doesn't really help you apply anything. It's just, it's weird. This is just plain weird. Okay, we'll go interesting. But yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this. But between the price point and the real awkwardness of it, no. The powder I'm okay with. I'm not thrilled. I think the powder that I've been using does better for the inner corners than this does. But at the same time, I'm not mad at this. I can go ahead and use it. I'm going to have problems on the under eyes because I am getting older. I am getting that textured skin that older people get before they actually get full-on wrinkles, and I am getting actually a few smaller wrinkles in there. I've been fighting them, folks. I'm fighting them, but you know, life. You get older, you get stuff. But I'm okay with this. I'm not 100% thrilled. Will I repurchase it again? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. It was a good amount. This is 0.21 ounces. And the one I've been using, which is more expensive as I recall, this is 0.21 and the other one says 0.28. So I might get the Bella Pierre again. We'll see. We'll see. This is okay. Not 100% a fan. So I don't know if I'd buy it again. The blush. I'm glad I used the lighter blush, but at the same time, if I'd used the pinker blush, I don't think I would have had that much of a problem because the pigmentation on this one is very light. And this is my complaint about Moira's colored products for the most part. They are very inconsistent. And just like this, I didn't get a whole lot of shine. I had to put another one on top of it to get the shine you're seeing here. So this is okay. It's not horrible. I'm not going to throw it away. I'll probably put this in a box to give away. But I'm not going to do anything with this one yet. Sometimes a lighter pigmentation for like a blush is fine because you all have watched me use blushes that are heavily pigmented and gone bat clown crazy. So I'm fine with this. And the two colors are very pretty, and I think this color was very nice on my skin, so I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, so that is everything, and I think, like I said, we've talked about all the stuff that you'll be seeing here. Pretty much what you have been seeing, and the cooking will come back, and my son is doing his box every 3 months, so that's why you're not seeing him as consistently as before, as he's not getting something on the monthly. And yeah, so I'm always open to new ideas that I could actually feasibly do. That is an update on everything. We are doing well in general. There's a lot of upheaval going on. And but we're getting through that, and we're going to be past hopefully the paycheck hiccups hopefully by the middle of March, which I'm looking forward to. Of course, that doesn't mean that I can keep buying. I really have to get control of my spending, and I know I say that every time, and somebody has pointed out that I say that every time, and I do say that every time, but I think Afterpay not having their no down payment thing is going to help with that. Alrighty, so that is it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen, and I hope you two will go ahead, if you've made it this far, let me know if you're going to buy any of the products that I went ahead and featured today. The palettes, all the palettes are currently still available, but if you want the Nomad ones, better run. Better hurry. Better go. Go get them. Go get them. Come back and give me a purple heart when you're done. Anyway, let me know if you're going to buy any of the products that I, featured today. Let me know that down below. Or at the very least, give me a nice shiny purple heart. I'd really love that. And we're going to go ahead and have another sip of our tea and you're going to go ahead and get on out of here and go on with the rest of your day. Anyway, tea. Let's drink our tea. Oh, yeah. Okay. Still a touch on the sweet side, but oh, I love the spice in this. This is a beautiful tea. Definitely going to have to put it in one of my buy again bags because that's a beautiful tea. Okay, so gotta say it. Love my girls. Love my dragonettes. Hope you have a good one.